All right, guys, we're back here at Southeastern 16, presented by FanDuel. Max Barr is here, and we are talking the Saturday slate of SEC basketball. Don't worry, you're going to get your Saturday slate of SEC football in about an hour or so.
Yes.
Chris Lee, Chase Robinson, company, they will be talking about the full day of SEC football. We usually have a couple streams during the day, just everyone's availability was kind of all over the place. So, hey, it was also a lighter slate in SEC football, but plenty to talk about here in about an hour. But plenty to talk about, Max, from SEC basketball today as well.
Yes.
A very notable day for the league in hoops, and I love the comments. I was going to bring this up, so I'll tell you what's already in play, Max. And I've told you I've done this. The emotional hedge has been in play every single game this season in big games. 3 for 3, Max Barr.
Yep.
Because
Hey.
I went in on Arizona, I bet Michigan State, and I bet Alabama. All right? So, meanwhile, our picks in these big games, not going well. Thank you, Duke, I guess, but not going well. Yeah, Brock, y'all doubted Alabama. Yeah, we really hated the Tide, didn't we? Come on, Brock. Good to see you guys. Don't worry, Sam. They'll be here in a little bit. So, yeah, I hate that we doubted the team that was a 5.5-point underdog on the road. We love you, Alabama guys. So, yes, love when we bet Alabama. Don't worry, I still bet on the Tide. Come on, you have to do the emotional hedge, right? All right, you guys are ready to have some fun. Let's do it. Before we start, our friends at GameTime SIDEKICKS, officially licensed stainless steel drinkware. Hopefully you're using your cups right now, watching this show, watching your football teams play. All SEC schools are there, every single one of them. Over 350 more universities as well. Everything from the stainless steel sippy cups, the tumblers, 40-ounce bottles, shaker cups, SC16 for the 20% discount over there. And Max, I just realized, SC16, 20% discount over at GameTime SIDEKICKS. I was gonna actually change the title on this. Looks like I forgot to do it. So, nonetheless, we'll keep it at what it is right now. Maybe it did update. I'm not sure. But, all right. Max, here's what we're going to do, okay? I know a lot of Alabama fans jumping in.
Yes.
And we're going to talk about Arkansas and Michigan State in a second. I knew someone was going to ask the question. They asked it. Max with the green sweatshirt. Is he now all in on the Spartans?
Sometimes you just do things, you just walk right in. I didn't even think twice. This is my silver like fall sweater, guys. Come on.
Yeah, that's it. All right. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to start with Alabama, okay? Because they were the story of the day. And then we'll talk about Arkansas, Michigan State. I know that this will be there as well. But Kenneth says, where y'all been? The game ended 6 hours ago. Well, Kenneth, believe it or not, we are not 24-hour robots here, and we can't just go after every single game, especially on a football Saturday. Max and I have other obligations at Southeastern 16. But we're here now, and we're here to talk about the Tide. Nothing but the Tide. Because, Max, Alabama, 103. 103, that's right. If you didn't see the game, they scored 103 points on St. John's. 103-96 was the final. And, I mean, look, coming out of this, what was it? We were texting early in this game.
Yeah.
And I said, I don't even remember what I said specifically, but I'm like, you could tell right off the bat that, I mean, Alabama had everyone that we thought they could have available. We previewed the game. We weren't 100% sure, and that's why we had some unknowns. Bristow was not there. But we were talking about the other two. We're like, we think they're probably going to play. But we didn't know for sure. But when you saw all those guys out there together, and you could see the way the game was going early, and I'm not even talking about like halftime, they're up 9. But like you can see the way the game is flowing early on. And I texted you, I'm like, St. John's is not going to be able to keep up. I don't care what the score is right now. And I think St. John's may have been up when I texted you, but I'm like, throughout the course of a 40-minute game, they are not going to be able to keep up here. Now, I know they wind up scoring 96, a 7-point game, but that was the difference, right? It's just when Alabama has all of these guys, Philon goes for 25, Holloway goes for 21, Reitzel goes for 17. I mean, that I don't know that anybody in the country is going to be able to hang with Alabama when that happens. I don't. Like, I think when those guys are playing that well, those three in particular, and I mean, we'll go further and talk about, the other guys too. I thought Houston Meleek had a pretty good game.
Yes.
I mean, yeah, it's like I think you're looking at a team now, and again, this was a great test, and this is why I think we can. We always say basketball is so much different than football in these early season games because you get you get more games obviously, but you get different type of styles that you see these teams play against. St. John's was going to be kind of one, like we said, get up and down the floor, but defensively they were going to try to throw some things at you. I mean, Alabama said, hang on a second. We're still going to score 103 at MSG. So
Taylor Bowen, Blake.
Oh,
come on.
Nate Oates, he said,
yes.
I know what to do here. I know what to do.
Yes. He knows how to push the buttons. How about 9 rebounds, 4 of them offensive for TBB? That's exactly, if you're an Alabama fan and you were worried at all about the physicality, about the rebounding, that's exactly what you wanted to see out of your stretch 4 right there. Loved. That was the first thing I had to say. Loved the physicality response from Taylor Bowen. But Blake, you mentioned, 103 points. It never even felt like for a second that they were going to go through an extended drought. Aiden Holloway, man, he gets on those all SEC teams in the preseason honors, and there's a few guys left off. And me personally, I'll admit, I was like, man, I would probably put Keshawn Hall over an Aiden Holloway. I think there's going to be other guys on Alabama that'll have that, the volume of points to get on an all SEC team. The physicality that I've never seen Aiden Holloway play so controlled, so physical. Like 7 of 9 from 2-point range for Aiden Holloway. Okay. 7 2-point makes. That's Aiden Holloway's career high. Do you want to do a little guess here? Guess his previous career high from 2. Just set his career high here with 7 makes from inside the arc. What was his previous career high?
From 2. I don't know, 3 maybe?
4.
Okay.
4 2-pointers made was Aiden Holloway's career high from inside the arc. Passes that by 3 baskets. Had not seen that level of physicality. And then we haven't mentioned Amari Allen. 10 rebounds. All of 6'8". Looks like he's 6'9" out there. First little bit of Latrell Wrightsell, big time steals in there, just as important of his 3-point shooting, his defense just as important. This was just a fantastic game. This was one of those great November games that I think it was who's the Purdue guy that does the color? Who's the old Purdue player that does the commentary? I'm losing his name. Robbie Hummel.
Oh, yeah, Robbie Hummel. I thought you were talking about someone else, but yeah, Hummel. Yeah.
Robbie Hummel goes, this is one of the best basketball games I've watched in months. No kidding. This is the first week of the season.
No, I mean, listen, it was a bit of a contrast in watching, and don't worry, I know a lot of Arkansas fans are jumping in. We're going to talk about that game in a few, but a bit of a contrast in terms of watching that game today at noon Eastern, and then watching this game 8 hours later between Arkansas and Michigan State. Like 4 really different teams in terms of how they play. And yeah, I mean that's the thing. Like great point here too. Like what I was going to go to next. Like Alabama only shot 31% from 3. They made 11, but only shot 31%. Mentioned like Holloway goes 2 of 9. Like he'll have better shooting performances. But they still scored 103. I mean, they got, made 14 from the free throw line, but it's just like the way they were able to get baskets and just keep pouring it on. And that's where, that was kind of my thought early. Like I said, with that text I sent you, was just, I just didn't think at the end of the game, when it came down to it, whether it was a 1-point game or a 10-point game, it's just like Alabama just has that next gear, I think. And you can clearly tell. And like we said, that was the best part to me, was that you did have all these guys there. And, you had your main guard core that you expected to have. Like we said, we wasn't a surprise they didn't play in game 1. But I think, just to sort of have it play out the way that it did, see these guys play together. And, again, how great is it to see Wrightsell back? I mean, it feels like forever since we've seen this guy, just based on kind of how last season went. But just cannot forget the value he brought to this team. And I think, yeah, it's certainly something with them that, it may just be the same story it's always been. It's just that Alabama's style, it doesn't matter who they play. It is going to give so many teams a problem. And, I just feel like that is, that's going to be the same story here with them. It's just they've got so many guys who can make plays. They've got an absolute bona fide superstar in Labaron Philon, who may be the SEC Player of the Year by season's end. We'll find out. And they've got multiple other All-SEC guys right now on multiple teams, whether it's the freshman team, the All-SEC teams, and so yeah, it's just that they are a joy to watch, and that's why I think it's great. No surprise from Alabama. It's just great to see these kind of games this early because it does give you. It doesn't tell you everything, and yes, there may be people say, well, we're overreacting to one game, but these are the kind of games you can't overreact to because they just won at St. John's and put up 103 in the world's most famous arena. So,
I'll tell you what, St. John's, they're going to be dang good. I mean,
I think still going to be, and I know people are dogging them in the chat. St. John's going to be great, guys. They're going to be. Let's not. Again, we always try to say this. We did it last year. Don't play the game where you knock the opponent. Say that they're the greatest team you've ever played, because that makes you look even better. So,
the thing about St. John's is that this year they have a little bit more offensive punch than last year. Now, I will say they didn't have Dylan Darling, and Alabama didn't have Bethea or Bristow, but the way the team is built, man, they've got the guys to really not feel those losses. Whereas St. John's, Darling is really one of their only true point guards. So in a fast-paced game, both teams, I mean, I'm not saying St. John's was more affected by an injury than Alabama. No, not at all. Just both teams were not at 100% and still looked great,
Yep, good points. So yeah, we'll again keep talking about the Tide. I'm sure you guys leave your questions, comments, super chats. A lot of you have hopped in here. It's SEC Saturday in football. Again, not the greatest SEC Saturday in football by any means, but we got 500 of you plus watching right now between YouTube and Twitter and such. So we appreciate you hopping in to talk SEC and college basketball here. And we're going to get to Michigan State and Arkansas here shortly. But again, any other thoughts you guys have on Alabama and St. John's, you can give us that. We'll quickly tell you with Alabama, as we mentioned, their schedule is exactly what you would expect. Game one of this gauntlet that they're going to play. They get ready several days off. They're going to host Purdue next Thursday. I already got my pick in the bag for that one, Max. I'm going to go ahead and tell you. I don't know that there's anything the Boilermakers can do between now and then to not make me pick the Tide.
Come on.
Alabama fans may not want us to do that. They want to keep the trend going. Maybe we do the kiss of death thing. Maybe we implement it in non-conference play. Usually we save it for conference play.
Get it out of the way.
Let's find out. They got Illinois after that, and then the Zags, of course. It continues for Alabama. So Big Baller Brett screaming, please don't pick us. Please don't. Oh, Big Baller Brett, I'm all in on the Tide next Thursday. Let's see what happens in that game. But, all right, Nick, are you tracking our picks? Yeah, we're tracking them all right, Nick. We've only made 4, and we're 1-3 so far.
I think we're 1-3.
Yeah, we really don't pay attention that much to. We have much more fun with it in conference play because that's our wheelhouse. These non-conference games, there are just so many good ones that it's come on, we're not professional bettors or anything. You guys know that. We just have fun making picks. So
just some good games.
Just some good games, man. All right, Arkansas. Ooh.
Hogs.
I think this one's you're going to look back at this one and I think going to be considered a very disappointing loss for Arkansas because, we went in talking about this team and I thought, there were obvious bright spots with them. I mean, there are still a lot of things, and that's why, I just mentioned, it's basically game one, right? I mean, I know they came out and did what they did against Southern and all that, but this is your first big test of the season. You lose 69-66 in a very tough place to play in the Breslin Center at Michigan State. I mean, as we know, Arkansas, and they pointed out multiple times in the broadcast, they're going to play every Elite Eight team from last season. They're going to get many more opportunities at games like this, okay? But in game one, I think some of your freshmen, and I know they were your leading scorers, Darius Acuff, Meleek Thomas, both scored 16 in this game. There was a lot put on them. At the end there, they had some possessions they would like to have back, whether it was, either fouling on the three. I thought it was they're down a point. Acuff comes down, and look, he's used to just making plays, right? He's used to being the guy that you just say, all right, go make the play, let's win the game. Came down, had kind of a, tough position to try to make a play, didn't happen. And then whether it's the one with Thomas at the end or just not being able to knock down some of those shots, 2 of 9 from 3. Those guys went a combined 4 of 17 from 3. That's going to be a story, Max. I'm sure coming out of it, Arkansas as a whole, 7 of 28, 25% from beyond the arc. I just thought they left a lot on the table here in what was a very winnable game. And maybe you're going to hit on one of the things, and I know we talked about it before we started recording here, but I'm telling you, man, I have some questions about the front court. I think this was the kind of game. And look, that's not to take anything away. I mean, Michigan State's front court, they're physical. I told you, those guys are going to win some games in the Big Ten just based on the experience of some of those that they have and just the way they play. But I just thought, it's a disappointing performance because I thought you're right there with a chance, and there are probably a lot of plays in this game you'd like to have back.
Yeah, really frustrating loss from an Arkansas standpoint.
Frustrating is a good word.
Yeah, you had absolutely every chance to win this game. I'm not coming away from this game where with Alabama and St. John's, St. John's, they looked pretty good. I mean, obviously defensively not great, but you have some things coming away from St. John's where you're like, wow, I really like what I see. I'm not too impressed with Michigan State. They didn't look good. Arkansas didn't look good. I mean, the amount of sloppy turnovers just in the first 10 minutes of the game, you didn't know if Arkansas was going to get a shot off or if it was going to be a turnover. It was pretty much a 50% chance if they were even going to get a shot off. It was frustrating. And then Brazil, some silly fouls. Pringle, some silly fouls.
Silly
just
ones, yeah.
Dumb fouls. You're putting a team that absolutely cannot shoot, and you're just gifting them free throws. That you get out rebounded by a lot. And you only lose by 3 on the road. It's just like, man, you should have won that game. I'll be honest. And then I don't want to go too, I don't want to overreact too much, but so far the eye test on Malik Ewan has not been very pleasing. We come in with high hopes, did our preview with JC, when he really liked Ewan and potential. He could be a sleeper all SEC candidate from this team if he works out. He has not looked great. Disappointing, frustrating, whatever word you want to use. That's what I'm categorizing this game as. Should have won this one.
Yeah, and I think that's what we spoke to of we were curious about what's Arkansas's depth going to look like, right? I mean, other than Meleek Thomas, you just for outside of the starting group, right? And that's including some of the starting group that simply didn't play well. It didn't look good in this game in terms of maybe the overall depth because again, I mean, Knox doesn't score, has 4 turnovers.
He looked hurt.
That's the thing. I don't know. Arkansas fans, you can fill us in. What do you think? I just, that's a guy who finished the season looking like an all SEC star last season, and just was a non-factor in this game. Outside of again some nice passes and some rebounds, that's about it. So. So I just think that's going to be something to track with this team because you lose by 3. And this isn't just completely dogging Arkansas. And it's just the fact that you shoot 39%, you miss 21 threes, you miss 8 free throws, and you lose by 3.
Yeah. Our taste.
It's I mean, that is going to be one it's going to leave a bad taste in your mouth because it's just you felt like you had your opportunities, and again, I just think some of the plays down the stretch I just thought left a lot to be desired. But again, you are relying on freshmen. You're relying on guys who have not been in that spot before in this type of game, and is that on Cal? Is that on them? That's your that's your answer like that. Like, which one? Like, it's probably both, right? It's just sort of, you've got to figure out how you win games like that. And remember, again, it's basically game one. They will have a lot more time to gel and figure it out chemistry-wise. But it didn't seem like, in a game like this, it was there, right? So, I don't know. And look, with Michigan State, I think it is one where, and someone said in the comments, like, yeah, like it is game two. Like, not everyone's going to look great.
Right.
I think with Michigan State, there's obviously still some things too where they have some guys who will play well. I mean, Jeremy Fears goes 0 of 7 from the floor in this game. And so I think it will get better. And we mentioned too, we played the clip of Tom Izzo saying they were going to get their asses embarrassed if they didn't play better in this game. And we said, all right, that's Tom Izzo working a little Hall of Fame magic there. They're going to come out ready to play. They did come out ready to play. And so credit to Michigan State for that. But yes, like we're the SEC channel. We're going to look at it from the Arkansas side of things a little bit more. And I think from Arkansas standpoint, it's going to go down as a frustrating one, but still many more opportunities to get these kind of games back. It's just, it's frustrating. Like you said, that's the best word for it.
Yeah. And you're thinking about that second half there, and 0 of 7 from 3 at one point before Wagner finally hit one, and there were so many possessions where it wasn't a bad shot to take the 3, but it's like you're struggling from outside. Just get downhill, just create some contact. It's just there were so many just wasted possessions, settled possessions. But I am not jumping off Arkansas, whatsoever. I think this will be a good thing in the long run. Get this out of the way now. There's going to be this team. This is not a team built on sharpshooting. So there are going to be there's going to be other reactions we come on here and do where the shooting is the number one thing that we're harping on. That's going to happen again. But I also think that this is going to be a team that has 4 straight home games that they're going to absolutely blow out all 4 mid-majors. And then they've got a neutral against Duke in Chicago to close out November. And good thing this happens now. Get these learning experiences out of the way, get some confidence back, and finish November out strong. I am not leaving Arkansas whatsoever. I still think they're going to be a great team.
Couple comments here on the Arkansas front. Yeah, Compressor says disappointing Carter Knox today, worst I've seen him play. Look, we're just going to assume that's got to be injury based.
Right.
We'll see what Cal says afterwards. Again, we're doing this right after the game. We will get some post game comments. We probably won't even be able to talk about on this show because we may not have them, but surely that has to play a factor. Because, again, it just looked like that's not the guy we saw finish the season. So, Dance King, one of our favorites here, there's something called a good loss. They didn't play well, but they should have won in the end. And I wanted to bring this up because here's the difference, right? And I keep saying, I'm like, look, it's a football day. We're going to be talking football here on the channel in half an hour or whatever.
Yep.
These are the kind of losses, like it or not, and I know no one likes to lose, this is not going to hurt you. Like, it's game 2. You lose by 3 on the road at Michigan State. It's not going to hurt your resume. Like, it's not. So just let's call it what it is. Unless Michigan State just completely just does not win many games this year, which I still think they're going to win. They're going to win games.
Yep.
I just don't. It's not a bad loss, all things considered, if we're looking ahead, because these are the kind of games you're judging, right, for NCAA tournament purposes, and it's a frustrating loss, but like. And it's a bad loss if you're a fan because you're like, we don't care, hey, just whatever. But like in the grand scheme of things, this will not be looked at as a terrible loss for Arkansas.
Would it be fair to call Michigan State kind of like a Texas A&M of last year, where they're never going to really light it up from 3, but you're going to be in for almost a football game playing against Cohen Carr, Cooper, and Kohler all night long.
And that's how they're going to beat some teams. And, credit to them. Like, they know their strengths. Like, that's how they are going to just come out and they're going to use some of their defensive things and they're just going to make it hard on you to score. And, I'm probably coming out of this a little higher on Michigan State than you are. And I realize, like I said,
that was all it was.
It wasn't a great offensive performance, but I still think that they may lose to Kentucky, they may lose to Duke, all that, but I tend to still believe that they're going to be in a pretty good spot.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
I was probably too harsh.
Tough conference, but we'll see. Again, you got to have some of your guys playing better. There's no question. But like I said, I kind of tend to be the optimist of I think Arkansas will be okay. I think Michigan State will be fine. So things to work on for both teams. It's game 2. So all right. Some thoughts there on Arkansas. There was one other here. Oh, Brock brought it up. I wanted to make sure I got to this. Brock says, I'm sorry, but how Cal couldn't draw up a play in the final seconds to get Wagner the ball is awful. So I actually said something to Max. I said, Max, one of the things I actually was not that upset about for Arkansas in this game, I thought they ran some decent stuff, more than I thought they would. And, I'll go back and watch it to see, but I thought maybe the shot selection left a bit to be desired for sure. But sometimes, like I said, if you have freshmen in those positions, you may not always get, the 100% perfect shot because you have guys that are so used to making the play, and they may try to force some things sometimes, but those are also probably your 2 best playmakers. I mean, so, is that the worst thing in the world if it turns out that way? But yes, like at the end, I thought they could have handled the end of game stuff better, without question. And that's where I think if you're Cal, structure-wise, that you would love that back maybe.
And I almost forgot. It doesn't decide the game, but it's a 3-point game in the end. How many sequences where there were Arkansas is getting out and running, and you have the opportunity, do you pull it back for an offensive possession, you go try to push it, and it just ends in some weird flop
it's just
trip.
A weird bad,
Give the ball back to Michigan State.
It was 2
in
of
2
them.
seconds.
It was the one where I think it was 67-66. I don't know, down 1.
Yeah.
They get the ball out, and Acuff comes down, goes on the left side, and goes in to try to score. But
it's just
again,
like,
it was quick. It was quick. Like it was just. But again, like I think that's if you're looking at it from a freshman stars mentality. I see a lane, I see the path. I'm gonna go try to make a play because that's what he's used to doing, right? That's how he got to Arkansas because he can make those plays. But it's a different thing where it's, again, in my mind, and not everyone thinks this, you have different schools of thought, right? Coaching-wise. Hey, hold on, Darius. Like, hang on a second. Yeah. We got to run something. How many times have we seen Cal throw the hand? Like, hold on. He maybe did. I'll go back and watch the replay, but it didn't happen. So he came down and did that. And then, like, the one with Thomas, I don't even remember what happened in that sequence.
There was a Carter Knox one, too. There was a Knox drive, too.
So, again, I think that's tough because it is kind of your first big moment for some of these guys in that kind of setting, and they're trying to make plays. But I'm not going to discount the thought that it's on the coach because, I do think you have to make that decision early, knowing that if you don't, then they're going to go out there and they're going to make that play. And whether it's a good one or not, it just depends. So, anyways, more to come on Arkansas, as we said, looking ahead for them. Let me find their schedule, actually. For some reason, I thought I had it pulled up, but I didn't. Central Arkansas on Tuesday, Samford, Winthrop, Jackson State, 4 straight home games. And then, of course, they got Duke on Thanksgiving night, so that'll be the next big test for the Hawks. So, yeah. Anyways, Arkansas fans, keep weighing in. Share your thoughts. How do you feel coming out of this? Are you... I don't know. It's an interesting question to ask you guys because, again, I know it's game 2. You wanted to win it, but where do you stand with this team? What do you think is going to be the biggest strength? What's going to be the biggest weakness? All that. Rusty's here. Always enjoy Rusty hopping in. Long time. Probably one of the first people we ever had on the channel.
Yeah.
Rusty says we got beat up down low all game. Couldn't stop in the paint. That was the difference. Took too many threes.
Yep.
Hell, Max and I could have stopped talking for 15 minutes, and Rusty just pretty much summed it up. we could have left it at that. So, yeah, I think Rusty makes a lot of great points there. So, yeah, the points in the paint, I'm sure I could find it on the stat broadcast if I pulled it up here, but that was something they kept referring to, RAF3. And speaking of commentary, quickly before we get out of this game, Max, it's just one of those things. I'm like, am I playing Madden with Brandon Gaudin on there? Or what am I doing here? Like, I hear Brandon Gaudin's voice. I'm like, all right, Lamar Jackson's about to throw a touch. Wait a second. That's Darius Acuff taking the 3. Hold on a second. So
I will just say, you guys know I used to do play-by-play. The difference between And I'm sorry if they see this. I'm sorry. The difference between Jay Billis on the color and Bill Raftery on the color is not even comparable. Jay Billis is out there like he just took 3 doses of NyQuil and he's fighting staying up. And then Raftery is out here getting me ready to run through a brick wall. Night and day. What a call, Raft.
Did you hear Gus Johnson's call today on the Indiana game-winning touchdown against Penn State? Oh, my goodness. Listen, Fox, I know we're an ESPN conference, but Fox has got themselves some enthusiasm when it comes to some of their top guys. So, all right. Before we get into segueing into what would probably be a terrible segue from Arkansas to talk about quickly, Max, you now know, folks, who the number 1 team in KenPom is right now, don't you? Unbelievable. The Kentucky Wildcats are number 1 in KenPom. If you want to be number 1 in someone's life because you're going to buy them jewelry, well, yes, you can do it over at the Yearly Company hog ball burner, by the way. No fear. No fear. Maybe it's because Hog Ball Burner is heading to the Yearly Company to check out the Nashville-based fine jewelry brand. Built on tradition, designed for meaning. Each piece handcrafted from solid 14-karat gold natural gemstones, made to measure for a perfect fit, and backed by a lifetime guarantee. Remember, every Yearly Company bangle, custom size, so knowing your size is the most important step before you order. Husbands, if you're buying for your wives, hey, go ahead and get the sizing kit now. It's free, 100% off at checkout using our code SC16KIT because you got to know the size. Get that holiday shopping in now. SC16KIT. Over at the Yearly Company, Yearly Company, 100% off sizing kit at checkout. Head over there and get that right now. ROKFORM, ROKFORM.com, the world's strongest magnetic phone case, extreme protection, super strong magnets, rock lock, secure mounting. Maybe been some Arkansas fans wanting to test their ROKFORM cases during this game. I have no doubt in my mind. SEC25 for 25% off over there. ROKFORM, SEC25, 25% off all their stuff. There in that one. All right. Yes. How far did the Hogs fall in KenPom? I know we did mention it. Kentucky is. Where are they at now?
Arkansas's 27th.
Michigan State is 33 still. So, yeah. All right. Well, that's interesting. I mean, yeah, Kentucky's number 1 in KenPom.
If I said, over under both of those teams for their analytical finish, I'd probably go over on both of them.
I would say over. Yeah. I think that's why I was looking. I'm like, wait a second, where are they? And I had to scroll down. I'm like, yeah, I think Arkansas and Michigan State,
both going to finish will be better than that. Yeah.
Yeah. Shout out to Josh. Says, love you guys. Always cheer you up when it's an L. Hype you up when you get the W. That's what we do here, Josh. We try to hype you up when you get the W. We try to keep you at even keel when you get the L. Sometimes it's easier than others. There you go. That's what we needed to say. It's a long season, guys. We're not even a full week into this thing. Okay, got a long way to go.
Get out of the way now. Get out of the way now.
Get out of the way now. Big Baller Brett won intel already. Unbelievable from Big Baller Brett. All right. Nick asked this question too quickly. I have no idea how long it's been since Kentucky's been number 1 in KenPom at any point in the season.
Ooh,
it's been a while. That's got to be a while. So
they were up to number 2 in the 2021-22 season. Kellen Grady's last year.
God, that feels like forever ago. Oh my goodness. Gee.
You got to keep. I'm going back far. Man, it's been a while.
It's been a while.
Since 2016, 2017.
Wow.
That was De'Aaron Fox, Malik Monk.
Yeah, okay, I could see that. Yeah, Pat said 2015, which we could have guessed that. Yeah, that would have made sense. But I was curious, after that, if they would have. Okay.
There was a 2.5 week stretch in January of 2017, the last time.
Nice. Speaking of that, let's just quickly, we didn't do a stream after last night. Any takeaways quickly from Kentucky's 107-59 win over Valpo? Cats shot the ball better. 11 of 28 from 3. That was a nice development. Anything else? Again, they were clearly the better team. We knew that going in. The defense, once again, did a lot of good things, and I think Kentucky 4th in the defensive numbers right now, top 10 offensively. So, hey, through 2 games, they have the KenPom requirements to be a Final Four team. But What else?
I had a buddy of mine text me today. Actually, my cousin texted me today and said, "Hey, Maxie, thinking about throwing a college basketball future. Do you have any recommendations? I think I like the Cats." I said, "Corey, they're flip-flopped from last year. They traded their sharpshooting for defense. They're built on versatility and rebounding. I think it's a great bet to take the Cats to win it all." Blake, what's the price there at our good friends at FanDuel right now?
Glad you asked, because you knew I was looking it up as you were speaking. Kentucky plus 1,400, so the fourth best odds right now on
Still
FanDuel.
The fourth best.
Still fourth. Houston's plus 950, so they've eclipsed Purdue, which shouldn't be a surprise right now. Purdue plus 1,100, Duke's plus 1,100, so Houston is the favorite. Kentucky plus 1,400, and you've got a three-way tie for fifth with Florida, Michigan, and UConn. And just quickly, I think Alabama's gone up. I could be wrong about this. They're plus 2,000. Arkansas plus 2,700. St. John's, I want to say, maybe fell a little bit to plus 2,500, but I don't remember these to be exact, to be honest with you.
You might not be able to get Kentucky at plus 1,400 for much longer. Surprised they're still the odds haven't caught up with the analytics yet. That's surprising.
If they win on Tuesday, that number's going up.
This might be the last little bit of time you can get that number. I mean, how are you not impressed? I thought, when we did the preview, we didn't know a ton about Valparaiso, but the one thing that they did do well in their first game was they were a chaotic turnover forcing defense and didn't even look a sniff of that. I was impressed everywhere. And I think the number one takeaway has to be, we knew Malachi Moreno in the summer. It was the USA team, and we were like, wow, he might be a little bit better than we thought. We're hearing good things. This dude's ready now. I'm very impressed.
I'll be honest, I was not expecting that, because I feel like you and I checked in on that this summer, and we were kind of the thinking that they have they're based on how their roster's built, how much is he going to play?
Right.
I mean, even though he's a stud, we're like, I don't know how much he's going to but so far, and look, some of that's going to change when JQ's back.
Yep.
But I don't know with him. I mean, he's looked pretty good, so... 9 rebounds in game 1, 10 rebounds in game 2. Again, the opponents will get better, and you see how he kind of adjusts to the SEC style. But, again, how can you not be impressed, I think, with the Cats' performance last night and another, dominant win. And they hit their free throws, they hit their threes. If they do that, good luck. They're going to be really good. So, all right. So there were some quick thoughts. Anything else from last night? And we're going to finish up today. Sorry, I just wanted to make sure because we were kind of just wrapping up. I'll tell you, actually, one of the things, Camardine.
I was just going to say,
dude, I'm still trying to figure out how to say his name right.
And
they said it last night, and I can hear it in
Camardine?
my... There's something a little bit different about how we're saying it. Elias. We're going to keep calling him Elias.
Elias.
That to me, and I already put this down. Max, I will not write my column for the Basket Under Review newsletter until Thursday. I already have my first note to make sure in this 1,500 word column, however long I write this thing, he is the first thing I have to say in there. I have to remind myself to write about this guy because I think he is. Watching him play last night, I watched pretty much the entirety of that game. That guy's got it. Whatever you want to classify it as, he's got it. And I think he's going to be a lot of fun to watch this season.
I get a lot of stuff wrong, and I'll let you know when I get stuff wrong. But I'll also let you know when I get stuff right.
All these games we're talking about here are high-profile games. We have definitely gotten wrong, but that's okay.
We're wrong about like all of them. Was not wrong about Camardine this offseason. I'm not gonna act like I'm some international scout that is watching all these different leagues. Camardine goes to Ole Miss, signs with Ole Miss. I go on YouTube, searching up Elias Camardine highlights. I watch 2 minutes, and I don't need to watch anymore. I love it. This guy moves in slow motion. Looks like a pro out there. Gets a guy on his hip. It's like he's not even guarding him. Like, what are you doing down here on my hip? I'm just going to get to my spot no matter what. Camardine. And they haven't even gotten anything from the best statistical three-point shooter on their team. And Travis Perry hasn't given them a single thing offensively. There's a lot more to see from this Ole Miss team.
Yeah, Perry's 0 for 9 this year from 3, but that will correct itself.
We've got to see one go in.
that will correct itself. You said it, like, just smooth. This guy's a top 3 smooth player in the SEC already on my ballot. Store finished with 19. Dia had 11. Played a lot of guys. Beat Louisiana Monroe by 21 last night in Oxford. The other game from last night, any takeaways, any concerns you have? Missouri holds off SEMO 89-84. SEMO led 51-46 at halftime. And Max, I may or may not have fueled the Missouri win by going full-on emotional live betting panic SEMO money line to make sure that I guaranteed the Missouri win. I was panic betting this game. I was like, I gotta bet SEMO money line. I got to get the Tigers a win here. 89-84, as I said. That we did not give SEMO enough credit, and we should have. We started the preview. We didn't talk about it a lot. We were like, wait a minute, where was SEMO picked? They were like, whoa, hang on a second. That's right. They were basically a couple votes away from being picked to win the OVC. And they had 4 guys go for, 2 guys went for 20. Why did I say 4? Stacker and the other guy, Luke. They combined for 50 in this game. But yeah, Missouri finds a way to win. Mark Mitchell, which for Max Barr, total fantasy darling here.
Thank you, Mark.
29 points in this game.
Well, the reason that I personally kind of looked over SEMO was because I, looked at the first game against St. Louis, and Big Robbie Avila just carves them up and, wins by almost 30 points. And I was like, all right, Missouri, let's get the big guys going. Let's get Cruz in there. And 13 team assists to 19 team turnovers is not going to leave Coach Gates very happy, I would imagine. Ant Robinson, only 2 assists. Got to be creating a little bit. I mean, now he should have had more assists. There were some Ant Rob empty assists out there that he created an open shot, but gotta have a little bit more fluency on offense. If Mark Mitchell doesn't just have a insanely efficient 12 of 14 Mark Mitchell night, they don't win this game. And that's a whole seed line. That's season changing. Yeah. So a little bit concerning on the just kind of the offense, just how the offense is clicking right now.
Yeah, I'm going to go back and watch a little bit more of this one. I did have my focus a bit more on, I wanted to get more eyes on Ole Miss.
So I was watching Mark.
I watched the last part, the second half of this, because I'm thinking, okay, hold on a second. It's 51-46. I got to pay attention here. But I want to go back and kind of see how we got there. And yeah, I'm just curious to see how this plays out for Missouri. But all right, I threw off we went back to yesterday. Now we're coming back to today. A lot to discuss, but I want to make sure we got our quick thoughts in on that. And it was an easy segue. We were talking about the number 1 team in KenPom right now. But back to today. And Max, the Vanderbilt Commodores. I mean, I'm telling you, they are a machine, man. They are a machine. 105-93 at UCF. I'm sure Byington's not going to be happy they gave up 93. But, dude, you want to talk about a game, go ahead. Let me pull it up real quick because I want to make sure I got the right date here. Let me find it. Yeah, that's right. Folks, I don't know what you're doing on January the 7th when at 9 p.m. Eastern on ESPN2, the Alabama Crimson Tide are going to head to Nashville to play the Vanderbilt Commodores. Clear your calendars.
Yeah.
Because both teams are putting up 100 in this game. Calling it right now. Both teams are putting up 100.
And they did this with no Mason Nicholson out with the illness. You only get 19 minutes out of Jalen Washington because of foul trouble. And you only got 19 minutes out of Devin McLaughlin because of foul trouble. So, like, all 3 of your big guys who all offseason, that was like the area of weakness, if there was any on this team, was, the quality of the 5 spot. How is Washington and Nicholson going to hold up against some elite bigs? Not saying UCF has elite bigs, but that was just the one question. And then you don't have Nicholson, foul trouble here and there. It didn't matter. I wish Chris was on there because he would be hyping up his guy Duke Miles. He once Chris gets on here, he'll be hyping up his guy Duke Miles. But it didn't matter if it was Duke Miles. Didn't matter if it was Tyler Tanner. Didn't matter who it was. This team's so balanced. It's a fun team.
They're going to be one of the most exciting teams to watch in the sport this year. I'm telling you, the way they play, the spacing, the speed at which they play. Guys just get out in transition. They make smart plays, like the court awareness. I mean, they've got it all offensively. Now, defensively, will there be a little bit to be desired at times? I think so, yes. But some of that may just be a product of how they play. Which, guess what? Guess who we said that about too over the years? It's Alabama a little bit,
right?
At times. So, I just when they get going. I mean, remember they win this game by 12. They're up 27 with 13 minutes left in this game. And that's the bigger thing. Like they had 73 points with like 14 minutes left in the second half.
Have you seen their KenPom yet?
Where are they at?
Don't look at it. Don't look at it. Don't look at it.
Like where are they ranked?
Yeah, where do you think they're ranked?
Well, they were 16 yesterday. They were 16 yesterday, right?
Yeah, they moved up to 15.
Oh, okay. All right.
But their offense is 4th in the country.
Wow.
Top 5 offensive efficiency. If you look at all their stats, it is just their 3-point percentage is 22nd, 2-point percentage is 28th. Their turnover rate is 8th. Their effective field goal percentage is 11th. I mean, it is just a beautiful offensive profile.
Yeah, score 105 in back-to-back games here. And that's the thing. Like, folks, let's not kid ourselves. Like, UCF, that's a big 12 team that, I get it. Like, they're not going to compete for the title or anything. But still, to go on a road, put up 105, dude, they're going to be something. As War Eagle 17 says, which, of course, they'll talk about the football game in a second. Easily the wildest football game of the day, maybe outside of Indiana, Penn State. Commodores having quite a start to this calendar year sports-wise with football and basketball.
This is Vanderbilt's highest analytical ranking since March 17th of 2012.
Well, Kevin Stallings, John Jenkins, Jeff Taylor.
It was a Festus Ezeli.
What a crew. That was a team right there.
This is the highest analytical ranking in 14 years.
Wow. Well, listen, like we said, we don't get much right here, but I'm going to be surprised if we're wrong about Vanderbilt, because what I've seen so far, they're a machine right now. And I know the opponents will get better eventually, but we said their non-conference schedule, on paper, they're better than everybody they play on their non-conference schedule. Not saying they'll win them all, but they're the better team, at least right now, from what I've seen. So a lot of opportunity for the Commodores here over the next month and a half or so.
They'll get tested against Yigitolu when they play the SMU 7-2. Big guy. Game. That'll be a good matchup. Big
game for SMU. Okay, I'll leave my SMU.
Let's cut that right there.
to another day. All right. Let's quickly. We're gonna run through a couple other things. I thought those were the main takeaways from the day. Max, as we said, Gonzaga and Oklahoma, they're not going to tip for another half hour, so we won't get to that one on this stream. 2 dominant victories today for Tennessee and Texas. Tennessee 95-56 over Northern Kentucky. Texas won 97-60 for the Vols. For me, Nate Ament. Listen, man. Like we said, there's a reason this guy was talked up. The way he was talked up, we've seen it so far. Like, the guy is going to fill the stat sheet. He did it again in this game. And I just think that, look, it was, the kind of game you would expect from the Vols in this one. They took care of their business. I thought making shots was important. That's the thing, right? Everybody's kind of hitting on the fact that struggled to make shots, where they went 15 of 19 from the free throw line, and 12 of 29 from 3. Gillespie found his groove, and Sam Smith was asking for that. But yeah, Ament finishes with 23, Gillespie with 20, J.P. Estrella, your guy, J.P. Estrella, 17 points in 20 minutes, had a double-double, actually 11 rebounds too. Vols took care of their business, and I thought certainly looked a bit better offensively in terms of game can be simple when you just make shots.
Yeah, real quick before I get to Tennessee, you mentioned Oklahoma Gonzaga, and I just want to sneak in here. Freshman big man Kai Rogers is going to play. That's a huge development.
Oh yeah, we weren't sure. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, big time development in the front court. They're going to need him against the Zags front court. Okay. Tennessee, he's been saying it for years. Rick Barnes has. He's been saying it for 3 years now since Estrella was a freshman. He said, "JP's my best offensive big." Been saying it for years now. So, to those diehard Vols fans, this is no surprise. But if you don't know, now you know moment. Blake, 20 minutes, 17 and 11. I don't care who it's against. JP Estrella is the best offensive big on this team. And they're going to go to him in situations where they need post scoring, like out of timeouts, under basket, out of bounds, all that stuff. You're going to see plays drawn up. Even though they have Nate Ament and Gillespie, you're going to see plays drawn up offensively for JP Estrella. And I saw you. Did you bring up that Clarence Masamba?
Well, Elijah bringing it up to make sure we note that Masamba coming in, knocking down a 3-pointer in this game.
He's been the odd man out of that kind of backcourt rotation, trying to figure out what's going on there. So I've been, honestly, he didn't have a very efficient game. But eye test-wise, I like Troy Henderson. I like what I see from him. He just – sometimes you watch a guy that you haven't seen a bunch of, and he puts you off right away, and you're like, I got to see something. I haven't seen Troy Henderson really have a great game yet, but every time he's out there, I like what I see.
Yeah, and I think Elijah brings up a good point. Like, one of our biggest questions about Tennessee was what would the depth look like, right? Because we knew the older guys, but we were talking about some of the new faces, and we were wondering exactly the role they would play, and that's where, like, again, we kind of perked up a bit when like, I talked to Justin Gainey, and he's like, oh, yeah, like Dwayne Brown, and then we're talking about, okay, oh, yeah, and then all these guys. There's so many different guys that I think are going to be able to contribute for them this season. And I think we're seeing that early. Like, I know it's early. Guys are going to play a ton of minutes. I mean, they have, I think 11 or 12 guys played 10 or more minutes in this game. So it's like, yes, like that's just how it goes early on. But I think we're starting to see the depth may be more than we thought, just based on, some of these guys and the expectations for their contributions. So, yeah, 95-56 win for the Vols, and three more home games, and then things start to pick up a bit for Tennessee in their non-conference portion of the schedule. So any thoughts on Texas, Max? As we said, 97-60 win over Lafayette. I thought Vokietaitis, that was one of our questions about them. What would the front court situation look like? Clearly, I think he is going to be a big factor. Finished with 14 and 11 in this game, 3 blocks, 2. Pretty balanced in terms of the scoring. They had 6 guys in double figures in this game. Our guy, Lassina Traore, only played 13 minutes, had 5 points, 5 rebounds. But, yeah, I think we're starting to see a little bit of maybe the expectations minute-wise for what this could look like for Texas with the rotation.
Yeah, you can tell that Simeon Wilcher and his outside shooting is going to be needed on this team. You go down the line and you're going to get good games from Swain. And Swain is actually out shooting he's shooting better than he has his whole career in these first 2 games percentage-wise. So you're getting a good bump from Swain like you were relying on. But we know Mark isn't an outside guy. But he started this game slow, Blake. Didn't start hot. But then, so I'm following this game on just, your sports app. And I'm looking for Mark. I wanted him to get aggressive. And I see after the first few minutes, not scoring well. And then 2 seconds later, I see a tweet, Tremont Mark in double figures. Look what the heck happened. This guy had to just score like 10 points in a row in there. So good game from Tremont Mark. But honestly, my main surprise, Blake, we did not expect Nick Cody to be a 20-plus minute per game starter. That was not on our radar. So that's a development we did not see coming.
Yeah. No, I'm with you on that. I mean, I think he was someone that we just kept looking at on the depth chart, but it's like, just want to see how it kind of unfolded. But, yeah, I think Texas, that's what you want to see, kind of the way they bounce back after the Duke game. But for me, I think for them, it's just sort of, they're going to be 25-plus point favorites in their next 3 games. I just want to see what the rotation shakes out to be heading into, kind of that mid-December and maybe before they get into some of those more intriguing non-conference games like a Virginia at home, at UConn, and all that. So, yeah, we'll see. All right. Anything else, Max?
I'm gonna have one more thing on Texas, Blake. I want to see if this is a hot take or not. I'm gonna go out on a limb here, and I'm gonna say very specific take. And this is gonna come true. And watch, we're gonna come back to this and be like I told you guys. Matas Vokietaitis is gonna have such a good season that he's gonna have an Alex Condon, Ruben Chignello, Tommy Haw offseason where he has the chance to go NBA or college. He gets feedback and everything, and he'll come back. He'll play another year. But I'm telling you right now, Matas Vokietaitis is going to get NBA combine level interest with how he's looked so far. He's played the way he played against Duke, and then he gets your analytical MVP against Lafayette. Very impressed with him.
Yep, I think so. All right, so there were your thoughts from today, and again, we kind of recapped some thoughts from yesterday. We'll share more thoughts on anything with Gonzaga and Oklahoma on Monday because, yes, we will have our – oh, no. Why do we do this to ourselves? SEC basketball power rankings on Monday. Why? No. I have no idea where I'm putting teams right now, so can't wait for the overreactions to that on Monday. Will be easily our biggest overreaction show of the year will be our power rankings on Monday. So I see Big Baller Brett giving his votes on Alabama. And by the way, too, we got about 4 more minutes here. We've had 1 super chat in this thing. Come on, folks. There's 600 plus of you in here. The best way to support the channel is with a super chat. Leave us as little as you want, as much as you want. Super chats support the channel and being a member. There's a lot of you members are in here watching.
Yes.
So,
also, if you maybe want the hat that is on Blake's head right now, or it's late right now, you're like, man, I almost could use a little cup of Joe to stay up at night to stay on for the football stream. You get yourself a nice Southeastern 16 mug.
What a mug Max has. That guy right there's got a mug. That's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. I dropped a link in the comments. se16.printify.me. Check it out. All the merch is over there. New merch on the way. Yeah, we appreciate your support of the merch, support of the channel, and hit that like button if your team. What you got?
You know what's gonna happen on Monday? We're gonna have power rankings, and there's a bunch of SEC teams that play on Tuesday that we may rank highly that are playing very tough games.
They'll all lose. Yeah. All the teams we rank high on Monday are going to lose on Tuesday. I'm sorry. It's just that's the way it works here.
I can see it. Jeez.
Just the way it works here. Everyone should be used to it by now. That's exactly how it went last season. So, it's how the universe works.
Yep.
But, yes, we will have power rankings on Monday. We will have our Kentucky-Louisville preview. Max and I have to talk about this. Depending on our schedules, I would like to get that out soon. How soon? We'll find out. Maybe tomorrow. Don't know. Maybe Monday morning. We'll find out, okay? Because that's obviously one of the biggest non-conference games of the season.
Yes.
On Tuesday, so we will get our thoughts out on that one. That'll certainly be in a separate video. I'll have plenty of Kentucky and Louisville fans, I'm sure, watching that one as well. So, yes, but we're going to hop off here shortly. Football guys are going to jump in, I would say, probably within the next 15 to 30 minutes. So you'll get your full football reaction from the day. Again, we didn't do multiple streams like we usually do, just based on kind of scheduling and the way the schedule fell today. And you really didn't have many good games at all, except for the one in Nashville with Vanderbilt and Auburn. So that's kind of how we decided to do it. So check out all the football stuff. Chris and Chase will be ready there. Mother Carol bringing in the $10 super chat on the way out. Look at that. What do you know? Get ready for the Mother Carol second annual challenge on Monday. We'll tweet you questions. Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Love those. Love those. So we also love Mother Carol, an MVP here at Southeastern 16. It just means more to Mother Carol. And, yes, plenty to come when it comes to that. And so, listen, we're going to have some pressure on us, Max. If Kentucky's number one in KenPom on Monday and we don't go with our guy, Mr. Pomeroy, in our power rankings, what does that mean? We'll say. And I will tell you, even though you guys see us, of course, on all our basketball stuff, we will not be the only people voting in our power rankings on Monday. we will be putting the votes out to other multiple staff members. Just keep that in mind. Blame them, including us. All right.
Hey, I will say this was a fun first week of basketball. And if you're looking at it just from as a whole, SEC lost in Vegas against Arizona, lost in Charlotte against Duke, lost at Michigan State, and then potentially at Zags. Avoided disaster week 1.
Don't say that, Max. There's still some teams that have to play tomorrow.
Avoided disaster first 6 days.
There are 4 teams that play tomorrow. All those spreads, except for A&M, who's a 2.5-point favorite at Oklahoma State,
and that
are like 20-something.
If AG doesn't play.
Don't let it happen. Don't let it happen. All right. Yeah, we'll see what happens for the Zags in Oklahoma. See what happens in tomorrow's games. But yes, we will. Again, if Max and I can get to it, we may try to get our Kentucky-Louisville preview out at some point tomorrow evening. We'll find out. But if not, we'll have it on Monday with power rankings and everything else to get you ready for another week in SEC basketball. You guys are the best. I know it's a SEC football Saturday. Hop on over. Those guys are going live soon. So be sure to jump into that. And, on your way out, leave us a super chat. You can do that in the comments, too. Support the channel. Join the membership. A lot of fun stuff for members. As we said, coming soon. Watch-alongs and a bunch of other stuff like that. So hop on in there. We appreciate you as always, and we'll talk to you soon at Southeastern 16.